Namaste friends, welcome back to your own channel Anadi and Antam, and it's a pleasure to have you again after some good significant gap. So I have been thinking a lot about management and Sanatana Dharma, how these both are linked, and that is what has kept me busy for so many days. And since I have a past experience of working in the corporate and the top positions and managing. So this area or this subject has quite intrigued me as to how there can be a better management style, and how can there be an environment where everybody can be is able to function to their best, right? So it's a very known fact that all over the globe today, uh, especially people who are in jobs, are not really happy because one, because of scientific advancements and technological advancements, especially in the areas of artificial intelligence, that taking up human intelligence is finding little or very less scope, and manpower is depleting certainly to a large extent, where processes are being automated. Now still, for the workforce which is still in function and which is still employed, there are a lot of challenges which they face, and sustenance is a big problem. So so with this background, and with many unsaid problems that everyone faces in their everyday life, this video is an initiative or just an effort to rekindle our thoughts and see how we can better the situation, and what are the differences or what are the gaps on which we can work together on. So is there a possibility, is there a higher possibility of functioning and having a better life experience? So you will all agree that life is all about experience. We are having experiences over experiences, right? So that is what life is all about. So everyone wants to have a pleasant experience. We all are afraid of unpleasantness, so we want a minimal level of pleasant experience so that we all can carry on with our day-to-day lives. So with that said, let us look into how, especially in India, the scenario has changed over a long period of time, right? Now if we think about management as such and corporate management, we are thinking what the image which first strikes our minds is that we talk about strategy, we talk about statistical and analytical aspects. We imagine a boardroom with white collared people, men and women, equally contributing their ideas, and we have discussions about how we can maximize the market share, how we can maximize profits this year on year budgets and year on year growth, right? So now there is very little or absolutely negligible time, attention and focus on certain important aspects which are very relevant to a good working environment and job satisfaction and a better life experience, right? Because we are all human beings. There are a lot of aspects in life which we want to fulfill, and all areas of life which we want to touch upon, so that we have a holistic grooming and a whole good life of experiences, right? So work is just one part of the entire life, arena. Okay. So, but we hardly have time for anything else apart from work. Now, today, work means making money. That is the only part, right? Earlier, work used to be an expression of our own skills, right? So, hierarchy after hierarchy, especially in India, sons and daughters used to take up the occupation of their fathers, the fathers, their forefathers. So, trickling down the entire set of skill set which has been handed over, right, right at their homes. So, so to speak, there never was a problem of unemployment or no job for anybody, because the very family in which a person is born determines their occupation, and there is no competition there, because it is your own skill set which has been developed not over the years but over a period of generations after generations, that has been practiced, and a level of expertise is reached, right? So which nobody else can challenge. So that was a major aspect of, or a very important aspect of the Indian economy, so to speak, where everybody had their own means of sustenance, right? So nobody was judged as such on the kind of occupation which they chose. Even artisans, sculptors, and other people, the masons, who were majorly, who are now considered as unskilled labor, used to be treated very respectfully, and they had immense knowledge, which used to be at par with the jnanis or the knowledgeables, right? So those were the days, and those are the things which we have now forgotten about our own country and its own richness. So coming back to where we started, so what we reminisce when we talk about management is certainly, and the only thing which we discuss is the Western management culture. Now I researched on the differences, and what are the goods and the bads and the pros and cons, and how India as such has changed either for the good or for the bad. That I leave up to you to decide. After the video is over, you will have to think over and prod over this and come back. But for now, let us just stick to the Western culture which has been prevalent after the British Raj, right? So it is only a period of the last 700 to 800 years, or maybe to the max 1000 years, where after the invasions, so many different type of invasions which our country has gone through, and the differences which happened culturally, which happened economically, socially, has changed the mindset of people of our country. And therefore, since the mindsets have changed, the life experience has changed, because the habits, the rituals, or the activities have changed, the desires have changed, right? This is a very important aspect, because our desire is what drives us, correct? So what we desire, and that is what we actually run out to fetch, and that is what we also obtain or accomplish. So the desires have changed, the quality of desires have changed. Earlier, when in ancient India, say, do you think there was no management in India? Was there any subject called as management? Management was so much an integral part of every aspect of human life in the Indian Vedic system, that it was not, there was no necessity for a subject or different subject for a known titled management, because it used to be referred to as Niti Shastra, and niti uh, used to be dharma niti, right? So the earlier ancient Indians uh, were very intelligent, and they did not only limit themselves to maximizing their own individual growth and prosperity, but they had a very large view, and they also took it upon themselves as their responsibility and spoke about sustainability of the planet in the longer run, right? So whatever desires they had, whatever ambitions they had, and whatever accomplishments they wanted to make was all within the framework of this sustainability factor. Now, don't you think that sustainability is the first and major uh, problem or issue discussed, not only just in India but even at the level of uh, global conferences, right? So everywhere sustainability is an issue now. But why is it an issue? Because we have been focused and aggressively focused on the individual growth and development, having a larger chunk of the pie for oneself, and forgetting about or completely ignoring major factors of the contributors to growth, the environmental aspects, and how one's actions, thoughts, desires uh, make an impact and have consequences which last over an entire era. So hopefully I'm making sense of what I'm saying, because I'm just going with the flow, but I'm sure you will definitely catch it. So I will actually show you the textbooks which are referred to when a student takes up management courses in IIM Calcutta, in the Indian Institutes of Management and other things, because I myself have passed out from one IIM Calcutta, so to be very frank. And the textbooks which we are given for study and reference purpose are entirely based on the needs and requirements of the American society, right? So do you know what is the difference between the Indian society and the Western, I will say American society? The first major difference is the climatic conditions, right? We are far better, and because we have seasons, we have the solar energy shining upon ourselves, and we have that thermal energy with us, and sun is also the consciousness. So we are all gifted um, with a varied plant kingdom, with a lot of herbs, medicines, and everything which helps maintain a healthy lifestyle. This is where America is lacking. Poor things, they have a very harsh climate, right? They hardly even have a glimpse of the sun, right? So they have to adapt to those harsh conditions, and that is how, and that is why, that is the basic reason why they have a certain lifestyle which is suited to that particular country. Now, how do you think can any sensible person just copy paste those habits to this environment which is not so harsh? Why do you want to practice certain habits which are adapted to a harsh environment in a very feasible and friendly, conducive environment here in India? Why would anybody want to do it? Today, even our bathrooms and toilets, sorry, pardon me, but they're all westernized. And why do you think we want that? So everything, right from education, right from the dressing style, right, from the thought patterns, from the way we think, everything is something American, right? It is not Indian. And why do you think we want to do something which doesn't suit our country, which doesn't suit our climatic condition, which doesn't suit our way of life, and which doesn't suit the land, which doesn't suit the purpose of our life, which doesn't suit our goals? So, are we so unintelligent and dumb? This is something I leave it to you to think, right? Why are we copy pasting blindly? It's okay to copy, but does it suit you? Is the question which I want to raise and I want to put across to you. Think over it. It's a serious thing. You never know, you'll land up with answers which can enlighten you, right? And which can enlighten the entire Indian society today. So these are very important questions which one has to ask themselves, not to anybody else, not to the government, not to any other managing authority, but to their own self, as to what are the paradigms and what are the principles on which they have constructed their life, on which that person is living their own lives, right? Now if you just go approach any youngster, any student today, and ask them, why have you taken up a certain subject or a topic for study? The prompt answer you will get is, I want to be employed and I want to earn money, right? This is the common answer which you get. Gone are the days when there used to be a love for the subject. You're taking up a subject to understand it better, you're taking up a subject to contribute to it further, you are taking up a subject to make your own contributions to the society, to enhance your skills, right? Gone are the days. So these are not even in the picture now. All you want to do is, you just mechanically go through a certain process and process or help yourself or offer yourself to be trained and groomed to conformity. And whose conformity? Of certain set of individuals. And how did these set of individuals come up with this particular idea or thought of how things should work? From where have they got it? No one knows. Everybody is in the race of conformity, right? So when you apply for a job interview, the interviewer is just trying to judge you based upon whether you can conform to that particular company's standard or not. He or she is not interested in knowing your talents, your skills, your richness and your abilities to make a creative value addition to that particular company. No. The first question is, they want to check whether you can conform to their standards. Now, is this an intelligent way to hire? Is something I want to ask. Which means you are blocking all the door yourself to anything new and creative, and you just want to follow a certain set standard, right? These are industry standards is a common slogan which we hear, right? So what are the industry standards and who has set those industry standards? It is a human being, but where that idea has cropped up in their mind. Fine, I am following America because America appears to be resourceful, appears to be powerful, appears to be rich, appears to have the power to buy, the buying power, right? But did you even realize that you have it too? Just by copying somebody, will you be able to, if that was the thing, then after so many 700 years of copying the British and following British patterns, following British schooling education, following the American education system, after so many years of hard work, after putting 20 to 22 years of study in the schools which are being run in the Western culture, India has still not liberated. It has still not become an empowered country by itself. It is not the superpower. Why has it not become a superpower? Still, which means that copying has not helped, right? So let's continue this topic and keep mulling over it by the time I reach you in the next video. Thank you. Namaste.